Welcome back! In today's video, I want to share with you the top map to scry in 3.27. This video will also stay relevant for future leagues thanks to some of the information I'm going to cover. We will start by explaining the scry mechanic for newer player, then go through the best map to scry and why each one is worth your time. To try to help you picking a map to scry, I will be rating every map based on the following factors: card drop rate and value, Nameless Seer farming difficulty, and price relevance throughout the league, since some scries are amazing early on but fall off later and vice versa. Finally, we will wrap up with a conclusion and my personal favorite map to scry. Alright, enough with the intro, let's get into it. To begin with, what does it mean to scry a map? In Path of Exile, we have items called Divination Cards, which can be exchanged for specific reward once you collect a full set. These cards are some of the most valuable loot in the game because they make acquiring certain items much easier. The most famous example is Mage Blood, which you can get from the Apothecary card. Many Divination cards have a drop restriction, meaning they only drop in specific maps. That's why, when we decide what to farm, we need to know what we want and where it drops. Most of the high value cards drop in layouts that are awful to farm. A perfect example is Unrequited Love, which gives 19 mirror shards, but it only drops in Maze map, which is made of narrow corridors, dead end and constant branching paths. It's basically the opposite of a good layout and will waste you a lot of time and money. On the opposite end, Dunes map has an amazing open layout with no obstacle, making it perfect for fast clearing and good money per hour. Dunes doesn't naturally drop any high value card, and that's where the scry mechanic comes into play. Scrying lets you transfer the divination card drop pool from one map to another. If you open your atlas and press Alt on any map, you can see its exclusive cards. You can also search for any card to see where it drops. But how do we actually get access to scrying? It's fairly simple, but it requires some time investment. To scry a map, you need to find an NPC called the Nameless Seer. He appears randomly on your map once you fully clear one type of natural monster. Let me repeat that. You need to clear one natural monster type. Monsters added by mechanics, like Legion, Blight or Delirium, do not count towards spawning the Seer. Because they are not native from that map, they were added by mechanics. To increase your chance of finding the Seer, the best thing you can do is run maps fast and clear them well, without juicing too much, because it will increase the time you take to run your maps. There is a lot of misinformation online about how to farm the Seer, so be careful. On average, it takes 20 to 30 maps to find the Seer if you clear properly, but there is a huge variance. Some people get him in their first maps, others after 50. You've been warned. Once you find the Seer, he gives you two things: a free unique item from a small shop selection, and the option to scry your current map into another one. You can see me scrying Defiled Cathedral into Dunes in this footage. Now that we understand how scrying works, the question is, which map should we choose? Let's take a look at the best options, in no particular order. The first option is Maze. It drops Unrequited Love, a full set giving 19 mirror shards, almost a full mirror. The big upside is that this card never loses values, because mirror shards only go up in price throughout the league, and people love to gamble this card with Harvest, increasing its value even further. The downside is that this is the only good card in the pool, and the layout is absolutely awful. Finding the Seer on this map will not be fun. For the messy layout, card drop rate and value, and relevance over time, I rate this scry 6 out of 10. Another very strong option is Ghetto for 2 cards. Fire of Unknown Origin, which gives Nemesis, and Broken Promises, which gives double implicit synthesized ring. Broken Promises gives you a steady income thanks to consistent drop, and you can also gamble the ring hoping for a max frenzy charge implicit, selling for around 200 divines on average. Meanwhile, Fire of Unknown Origin is the big hit card that you can sell for huge instant profit. The layout of this map is also decent, making Seer farming easier. For the layout, the double good cards, drop consistency and value, I rate this scry 9 out of 10. Next up is the long-time favorite, Defiled Cathedral. This map is amazing early league because it drops the Apothecary, the Mage Blood card, and it's always relevant thanks to the 7 years bad luck, which gives the mirror shards and never devalues. The layout is solid, a square shape that's easy to run, but the side rooms make it easy to miss monsters, which can force backtracking while searching for the Seer. For the strong card duo, the drop consistency and value, and average farming difficulty, I rate this scry 9.5 out of 10. If you're chasing a very high value card that gets more expensive as the league progresses, Crimson Township is for you. Damnation grants Original Scriptor, used for no-hit Sanctum runs that drops Original Scene, one of the most expensive items in the game. Because the card is extremely rare and there is no second good card on the pool, this option is not for casual players. The layout, however, is nice. Like Defiled Cathedral but shaped like an 8, and without small rooms. The boss is close to the start, which is great for auto farming if you want to rush the boss before clearing the map. For the layout, drop consistency and value, I rate this Scry 7.5 out of 10. If you want consistent money per hour instead of giant dopamine hits, Lava Chamber is perfect. Divine Beauty grants 7 divines, making it one of the most reliable income sources, since it has a good drop rate. Unfortunately, the layout is terrible for finding the Seer. You're going to hate it. Also, for high-end players, divines lose value over the league because of the inflation. For the awful layout but strong consistency and value, I rate this Scry 9 out of 10. Residence with the Sephirot is very similar to Lava Chamber, but slightly less divines per hour, but still excellent. Same strengths, same issues with the layout, I rate this Scry 9 out of 10. Another consistent moneymaker is Canyon, which drops Icy Brothers, granting 2 Fracturing Orbs. Canyon is already a good layout, so you don't need to scry it, but you can if you want your preferred layout. The upside for this Scry is that Fracturing Orbs never stop rising in value, starting a bit low, but ending very high, making it a good fit for late farm. I rate this option 9 out of 10. Dunes doesn't need scrying, but I want to mention it because it drops extremely consistently the Fortunate that grants 2 Divine Orbs. With the best layout in the game, this is a perfect choice for all players. I rate Dune 9 out of 10. Before getting to the conclusion, I want to share 2 honorable mentions that are good early in the league or for SSF players. Belfry can drop the Demon, which grants a double implicit Corrupted Headhunter. Big gamble, huge profit potential. The layout is small and easy, but the boss is Kitava with long scripted phases. Just keep him. Headhunter crashes in value after the first few weeks, so this is best early or in SSF. I rate this Scry 4 out of 10. For the last one of the list and honorable mention, Burial Chambers can be worth farming, even without scrying, especially early league or in SSF. It's great with Delirium Mirrors because the layout is long and linear, and Delirium reward scales with the distance we run in the mist. This map gives you a chance to drop the Doctor, which gives a clean Headhunter with a full set. Same logic as Belfry, I rate this Scry 4 out of 10. And that wraps up the Scries I wanted to share. My best advice is, don't always go for the most valuable card, because the majority of players will never drop them. It's usually more profitable to farm something consistent like Divine Beauty. That being said, most players, including me, love gambling for big drops, which is why Defiled Cathedral remains a favorite. You chase the Apothecary, but you also get 7 years bad luck on a regular basis. If you're a newer or more casual player, I highly recommend farming Dunes for consistency. I've linked Redviles spreadsheet in the description if you want to check the exact drop rate and div per hour numbers. I've been scrying maps myself over the last few days and I'll release a farming strategy video soon. For now, tell us in the comments, what's your favorite Scry and divination card to farm? That's it for today. Please like, share and subscribe, and until my next video, take care of yourself and bye!
Last night I had a dream, dropped the